In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to make a kimono dress with scrub neckline and Ankara patch design. So if you'd like to watch this video, keep watching this video. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need are your patches, different Ankara fabrics, your main fabric. So I'm going to be using about 3 yards of the main fabric for this project, and the main fabric runs by 60 something, so I'm going to use a full length of the main fabric to create the length of this because I don't want to go ahead to start recreating the length. So next thing I did was to measure the wideness after getting the length, of course. So it's tilted to 60 something inches, so I'm going to use that as the full length of my dress, so you can alter your own length. So I had to measure 32 inches wideness because I want the sleeve length from the middle of my shoulder to the sleeve to be about 16 inches. So I just had to measure that 32 inches, so that I'll just have my 16 inches going forward. So now, folding this fabric, we had to draft the pattern for the front piece onto it. The pattern for the back piece, I mean, we had to measure the neck width, the neck depth. I used the neck width of 3 inches. I used the shoulder down to that of a shoulder slant of 3 inches, neck width of 3 inches, neck depth of 1.5 inches. We connected it like so, then connected it to the shoulder slant. From that shoulder slant, we came down by 7 inches, which is a round sleeve measurement, plus 1.5 inches ease, plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So we now measure the round bust divided by 4 plus half inch ease. You can use half inch, you can use 1 inch, then connect it like so. Of course, the sleeve will be slanted to have a better effect. So we're going to replicate the same measurements we did. The round bust divided by 4 plus 1 inch plus the sewing allowance all the way down. So you can do plus half inch plus sewing allowance, whatever it is rocks your boat, go ahead and do it. It just depends on how big you want your kimono dress to look. So you just go ahead to cut all through. So after cutting, we're going to use this as a template to cut the back piece, the front piece, I mean. So we're using this as a template. Okay, so we had to notch the area for the pocket. I usually use 19 inches for adults. So I folded yet another piece of the main fabric, and we're going to place the back piece on top of it so that we can get the neck depth, the shoulder slants, and mark out every other area. So basically, it's not going to have a zipper, it's just a basic outfit. We already have our ease. Of course, you're going to work with your biggest measurement, so you can choose to work with your round bust divided by 4 if your round bust is bigger than your hips. But if your round bust is not bigger than your hips, and maybe your hips are your biggest measurement, you can go ahead and work with your round hip measurement. So you can see I'm practically replicating the entire measurement. No, this is not your regular marker, this is a fabric marker, and it disappears. So I had to mark a neck depth of 11 inches, and the wideness at the neck depth area is 1 inch. So we connected it to the original neck width, so you can see how it looks. It now depends on how wide you want the base of the neck width to look for your scrub neckline. If you want it to look smaller, you can use 0.25 inches, you can use half inch. So I had to measure half inch round, then slant it like so, so that it would aid our sewing of the scrub neckline. Now, if you're liking this tutorial already, do well to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit on the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I post new tutorials. On this channel, I post tutorials on pattern drafting, sewing, and fashion business. So here we have this. So this is basically how it's going to look. You can go ahead and take your measurements around the neckline so that you can know how long your strip is going to be. So we're going to cut a straight band on a fold so that we can be able to use that straight band to run through the neckline from the back all through the front. My name is Eberechi Igwe Obona, writer of the books Pattern Making for the Shapely African Woman and Advanced Pattern Mastery for the African Woman. If you'd like to order any copy, you can click on the link in the description box or the link in the pinned comments to order any of the books. They are available on Amazon, they are available in Nigeria, and you can order them to learn pattern drafting from the very scratch. So now we'll go ahead to cut this. Initially I didn't want to use a medium gum stay on it, but I would also show you the effect of not using a medium gum stay, as well as the effect while using a medium gum stay. So when I had to cut the pocket, I just decided I wanted a pocket that was 11 inches long for the depth, and I just cut everything. So now we are top stitching the fabric, that's the circle designs, with the linings. That's, we use another fabric on the base, and we run the stitches together so that we can be able to have a more solid feel. So after running the stitches together, like lining it, you can use your normal lining, you can use doll face, you can use Ankara fabric, but I chose to use Ankara patches. So after trimming it off and cutting off your excess threads, this is what you have. So you're just going to pipe it with a bias. So it's just a normal cutting bias. You can just pipe it at once, run a single stitch, but that doesn't always work for me. Most times it pulls, so I decided to run my stitch from the top. So from the folded edge, I just run my stitches, run it close to the edge of the circle, and just run the stitches generally. I just want it to have a neat feel. You can actually place it on top and run your stitches, but eventually the edges of your Ankara patches will eventually start fraying, and we don't want that fraying effect. So that's why we have to bias it. So I'm done with the first stage. I'm going to fold it right away, and at any point I feel like it's too thick, I'm going to trim off a little bit of the Ankara patch. So we're going to fold it round and take our time to stitch it very carefully, gradually, very close to the edge. And that's basically it. So we're going to repeat this for all of our Ankara patches that we choose to work with. For this particular project, I decided that I wanted to just work with 2 patches only, 10 patches only, so you can choose to work with as many as possible. So after running our stitches, we go on to the next stage. So if you'd like to sign up with our Physical Fashion Academy at Eric's Fashion Academy in Ogu, you can visit us at 48 Nene Street, opposite Queen School, Ogwenyu Layout in Ogu. You can check out our website for more details, www.ericsfashionacademy.com. So here I had to trim off a little bit of the bulk because it was affecting my bias lane neatly. So we just run the stitches, repeat this for other stages. So if you're new to my channel, do well to subscribe, like, and share this video so that others too can learn. My name is Eberichi Igwe Obona, creative director of Eric's Academy of Fashion and writer of the books Pattern Making for the Shapely African Woman and Advanced Pattern Mastery for the African Woman. So I had to place the front fabric on a table and place these ones like so that I could see the effect that it would give me, and it was already giving me a really beautiful effect. So you can arrange it anyhow you want it. There's really no hard and fast rule, just something that rocks your boat is totally okay. So I liked this look, so I went ahead to pin it and run my stitches around the edges of the biased patches. So you can sign up for any of our online courses. You can still click on the link in the description box to sign up for any of our online courses. So after this point, we're going to take it to the sewing machine, run our stitches around the edges of the patches, especially the parts that we used bias on. We just run the stitches around the edges, then we're going to join the fabric shoulder to shoulder before we start turning with the long strip that we cut initially. So this was me. So we had to stitch from the sharp point. I didn't like the effect it was giving me because the fabric is not a very stable fabric. It was giving me a ruffled look. I didn't quite like it. So in as much as the ruffles might disappear after ironing, I didn't like it. So you can see we stitch from one end, one sharp end, that place that had that cut, we stitch from that sharp end to the other. So after stitching everything, we sent it in. You can see the back now. We had to send it in, pushing down that other part. You see that other part that was down, we pushed it down. You can see how we pinned it together. So we run our stitches, but I didn't like this, so I had to start all over. Okay, I didn't like the ruffles I was getting, so just watch the way I had to stabilize the fabric. I had to stabilize the band this time around with I had to stabilize the band with medium gum stay. I would recommend next time you use stay. So the width of the band was a total of 4 inches folded in half. We had 2 inches, and then the length went round and we added half inch. So we started stitching from the middle of the back, that's from the center of the back. We stitched using half inch all the way down to that sharp point. Please do not pass that sharp point. If not, you're really going to have a sharp ruffle along that edge, and we don't need it. So I'm stitching with half an inch because basically that was what I notched, half an inch, and you can't stitch more than your notch. So you see, our target is that sharp point, so we're going to stitch it up to that sharp point and we will stop. So once we get to that point, we'll stop, repeat the same thing for the other end. We'll stop, and of course we'll double our stitch because it's the end of a stitch. So you can see sending it in, you can see the look it already has. So we're going to go ahead to stitch the other side. So if you have any questions, please drop it in the comment section. I'll be glad to respond in the comment section. So if there's any kind of tutorial you want us to make on this channel, do well to drop it still in the comment section. We're going to consider making those ones that you actually like. Okay, so just go ahead, stop at the sharp points, cut off our excess threads, and send everything else in. So now you have 2 rough edges. You can see how it looks. You send it in so that it will go and join the other one at the base. Now you can see how much neater our stitches look. So you've seen how untidy it looks when you don't put something to stabilize it, and you've seen how neat it looks when you actually put something to stabilize it. So if you've not subscribed to my channel yet, just pause this video, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I post a new tutorial on this channel. So we're going to go ahead to run our stitch like so. You can see how nice it's coming out. Let's trim off the excess threads. Always make sure you trim off your excess thread. You can still trim off excess fabric, just make sure you don't cut out that shape that is at the base. So yeah, so this is basically how it looks. If you want your base to not to be this wide, you can reduce that block. You know, I used 1 inch block on mine, so you can reduce yours to half inch or 0.25. So I'm going to just attach another band to the sleeves so that I can just extend the length of my sleeves and sew it like this, and that's it. We're getting to the end of this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and this is the final look. I will see you in the next one.